this next little video, we're going to hear from a woman who suffered a trauma that you can read about every day in the obituary pages, which makes it no less life-altering. She had to face life after the death of her spouse. Let's take a look.
My name is Sondra Singer Beaulieu. I'm a writer, editor, journalist, and poet. And I met my husband in New York City at a party. A few years later, we met at the home of another mutual friend in a different city. And then from then on, it was for life. He had a radio program, and it was called Accent on Haiti, Caribbean Focus. I produced it for him. I think that as a team, we made things happen. Our marriage was probably the same as everybody else's marriages. We had our ups and our downs. We were two people who fell in love, and we were lucky that we stayed in love. Serge had been having difficulty walking and climbing subway stairs. We were living in New York, and he was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. We'd been married over 25 years when he was diagnosed. And that night, I was crying. And I said to Serge, "I'm sorry." And he said, "It's okay." He said, "You can cry all you want." He said, "I don't feel like crying right now. Maybe I will later." And that's the kind of relationship that we had. He even told a very, very close friend and colleague of ours, he said, "You have no idea what I'm going through, but I'm hanging on as long as I can for Sondra." Now, I am not the kind of person that usually sees visions and things, but after he died, I saw him a few times. There was one time I was in bed and he passed by in the hallway outside my room, and he looked to see that I was all right. It was very comforting because I knew that he was still watching over me. There was another time when I saw him near the bed, and it was as if he were fanned out. There were multiples of him, and he had this warm, beautiful smile, and it made me feel good. And then the last time that I saw him was 4.5 years after he died, I believe. And when he looked at me, I knew before he walked off, that was him saying, "I've done everything I can, and now it's goodbye." For me, I went on. I started to seriously write poetry and re-find the woman that he had fallen in love with so many years ago. It's been a journey for me to really re-find myself.